Hey everyone, I'm Sister4 here, and today we're going to check out some more Crash Team Racing Nitro-Fueled Adventure Mode on Classic for the PlayStation 4. Unfortunately, this is the final part, because now all we have left is Turbo Track and Racing Oxide again. So, without further ado, let's get started, and rather, let's get... I'm sure a lot of you know about my history with this course. Easily the longest course that I've taken to be able to beat the death time. And it's ironic too because, like, funnily enough, when it comes to the other ghost times, Oxide, Entropy, and even Velo at some point, this was one of the courses that took the shortest amount of time to beat. The shortest. And it's like, what? Even conceptually, it just makes no sense. Ah, frick. Now, I'm not too worried about trying to beat it like it's the death times again. Because, like, platinum times are far more generous than that. However, you still need to aim for the boxes, even if you go this fast. Because, like, unfortunately, they're pretty much your only means of actually stopping time. Like, who knows? But it's okay, because, like, when stuff like that happens, it doesn't matter because, as I'm pretty sure a lot of you are aware of by now, and if you're not, the thing about Turbo Track, this is for the new people in this, Turbo Track is known to be somewhat the fastest course in the game, simply because all of the turbo pads enable blue flame here. All of them. Every single one of them. I think some are faster than others. I'm not sure. I don't think that's the case, and if it isn't, don't take my word for it, but seriously, this course is amazing to try driving through at this kind of speed. It's the best place to practice for U-turning in higher speeds. And it's crazy too, cause like, frick, I almost had it. I actually kind of forgot how I did this with the death times. I think it was like, when I did the actual turns, I don't like hop during U-turning until I actually make the turn. If that makes any sense. Like, look at that, 119 and I got 55, sub 56. Even if you haven't beaten the death time, this is still one of the easier platinums to get in the game, so don't worry about it too much. Just practice your power slides and U-turns. More so your power slides than anything. But if you feel uncomfortable with this section that's coming up on the preview, then maybe you might need to get more practice on that. But focus on the fundamentals first.
So, you're back and you've gathered all my time relics. I'm impressed. Well, it's about time I taught you a real lesson in speed. This race is for keeps.
And that is why I have to show off the other ending, just so you can see that other cutscene too. And now, I normally don't do this, you guys know this, I think, that I don't really say this more than once in a video, but because this is finally it, the last part of it, let's just say it for good old sake. Alright, ladies, gentlemen, and non-binaries, it's time for the final race of the game. For real, this is the final race of the playthrough. Let's begin. Alright, so anyway, we beat the game. Alright, so I gotta say, this game is actually pretty magnificent. I'm sure you know this already, but like, to add on what was already a fun little racer on the PlayStation, add online, add Nitro Kart courses and add it to other platforms too. Like, seriously, I kind of wish crossplay was a thing, but the difference in power clearly shows that that was never going to be a thing, sadly. But, you know what? That's okay. Because this game still has a ton to offer otherwise. Characters update. Like, courses update. Frick. There's an update? Anyway, it has characters, courses, customization. It's just, oh my gosh. There's just so much to enjoy from this game. And it's like, it's insane that like, I'm doing this right now. Cause like, keep this in mind. When the game was first revealed back in the Game Awards of the preceding year, like of its release date, we had so many things in our heads. Even though initially we just thought it would be, just be CTR off online, which even then would have been enough. Trust me, because like this game having online would have added so much value. But then they started talking about how they added the Nitro Kart courses in their, I think, first state of play. It was either the first or second, but I know it was within one of those two. And then on top of that, a little later before it's released again, they talk about customization and how you can get like stickers, move cards, kart bodies. They kind of showed that off in the first trailer, but that was mostly just the Nitro Kart kart bodies they showed off then. And it's like, oh my freaking god. And this is all with basically CTR, CNK, and online, essentially. And the stuff still didn't stop there. Because a little bit right before release, I think like about a week or two before release, they talked about Grand Prix, seasonal content basically. And it's all free. It's all free on top of that. Like, oh my gosh. Like seasonal content every month, you get to see new cars, new customization pieces, new skins, new victory animations, pretty much a lot of things. And it's like, it's so insane that this was really a thing. And this is on top of, on top of the fact that we thought it was just going to be CTR Online. They blew this game out the water with even more. And the fact is, even with the Grand Prix, it still didn't stop there because they provided quality of life updates. The biggest one in my mind still being the fact that you can change engine classes. Easily the best one. And they even added a new one, Drift. Like, bruh. It was so huge when they added that. Like, you could play any character you wanted now as opposed to those locked to specific engine classes. So imbalance almost didn't matter with characters anymore. The engine classes themselves are still imbalanced, but like, you know, it's just, God, I freaking love this game. I love everything about it. I don't like how they added microtransactions though. Like that's really, that, loading, and all the other stuff I complained about within this entire playthrough, which is, I think, 3 or 4 things about this game versus the huge amounts of stuff I said I liked and loved about the game. But we're done.
You beat me once again.
Now I have to go back to the planet Gazmoxia, a complete loser. I must be getting slow in my old age.
That's it. I'm finished racing with these mushy backward worlds. Keep your miserable planet.
I'm out of here for good.
Alright, but that's it for the adventure mode. Adventure mode is pretty much straightforward, you know, 1-to-1 with the PS1 Classic, as said with the fact that we're playing on the Classic version. Now, the best part about this though, about the credit scene, is that it maintains the funny bits of like the epilogue from Crash 1. If you look at the bottom, you get to see a lot of stuff going on about what was going on with their lives after the fact that you pretty much finished the game. And then on top of that, on the left side, you get to see the credits. You get to see all these beautiful people who made this game, who played a part in it, whatever the case is. Even if it's just a tiny piece. Just a tiny piece. It adds so much to the game. They probably don't even know it. Well, I'm pretty sure they do, but you know what I mean. It's just, oh my gosh. Video game streaming service. Oh boy. Share prices are through the roof. Bro, what? Stuff like this is what I'm talking about. But yeah. Also in the background you hear one of the battleground music for the credit scene, which, believe it or not, you actually hear variations of this in other battle tracks whenever you're playing on those. Which is actually pretty cool because no, that's it. You just get to hear these in their original forms and their legacy forms. And Nitro Kart, you know, having added a huge bit to the battle mode with so many different modes, more like maps, and slightly more items. It's like, how? It just feels like it's an unreal game. Oh yeah, speaking of which, they actually added one of the battle items, the super engine, where basically if you use that sucker, you get to go fast for a little bit, but then it, you know, burns up your flame. That was a battle item, by the way. That was not in the original. That was not in the racing game until a little later in. And then they also fixed up the items a little bit, which, oh my gosh, if you were there at release when we were talking about items, especially with online, you would be seeing like at least 2 to 3 warp orbs, freaking 2 to 3 time clocks being used. Just, it was a mess compared to what we have now. Like a huge mess. It's not perfect now, but it was a mess back then. Almost non-functional too, because like sometimes whenever you're not having like a perfect connection to the servers, everyone would just be glitching about, lagging, hopping all over the course, some glitching through it. Even the items, especially the bomb. I think that still happens with the bomb though, but regardless, oh my gosh. Just seeing how far we've come with this game to where we are now is just amazing. And I really hope they continue with maybe another racing game. It don't have to be a sequel to this. It'd be great if it was, but it don't have to be. At least in my opinion. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, Oxide. Beanox babies? That's cool. And of course, the very special things. Like, you gotta make sure you say very special on there. But yeah, they must have been hard at work with this game to make it the beauty we have now. Oh, you best believe I'm not forgetting about Vicarious Visions involved with this. Not to mention the fact they were involved with the Insane Trilogy, which I'm not gonna go too in depth with that again for like the millionth time. It's just, I'm just so glad Crash is back. I'm glad he's back. I'm glad the characters we're seeing coming back into like more official games and stuff like that. And it's just gonna be awesome seeing what they do with Crash in the future. It's just that it's kind of hard to think about that right now, but even with the fact that we're announcing it right now, it's like, dang, they really brought Crash and Spiral back in the game. But I think that's it for me, because I'm done. That's it. We are completely finished with Crash Team Racing Nitro-Fueled's Adventure Mode on Classic. And they even shouted out people from Naughty Dog. That's amazing. I don't remember seeing this part. That's actually freaking cool that they got them involved in the game. It does explain a lot though how some of the things still felt the way they did, which is not a bad thing. I'm saying that as a good thing. It's just, Some are, in my opinion, more questionable than others. But we're done. We're done. So, while this is going, this is Torres Vosa. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you to everyone who's been watching on this. Thank you to everyone who's been developing on this game. And thank you to everyone who's been playing this game. Even to this day, this online is still active. And that's the best part about it. It's like the multiplayer is still active and everything. We still get something to play on this afterwards. But until we get to that point, stay safe, stay healthy, stay insane, stay Nitro-Fueled, but most especially, stay warped. Stay warped!